Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to see Google Cloud Storage integration with AgilePoint. Google Cloud Storage is scalable, durable, and highly available object storage service provided by Google Cloud Platform. It allows users to store and retrieve data in the cloud, providing a reliable and secure solution for storing large amount of data.
Now let us create the access token. I click on Manage, App Builder, Global Access Tokens. Click on Add Token. Search Google Cloud Platform. I select this and I say Next. I provide the token name. In order to generate access token for Google Cloud Platform, we need client ID, client secret ID, and project ID. So let us see how to get that. I have logged into GCP Cloud. I click on it. Once you are logged into GCP Cloud, you click on API and Services and select Credentials. Click on Create Credentials, OAuth Client ID. Select the application type as Web Application. Provide the name. I have given it as Google Cloud Storage Demo, that is GCS Demo, and click on Authorize Redirect URI. I click on Add. This will be provided in our redirect URL of the access token. I copy and paste it here and then click on Create. Here we get the client ID. Let me copy and paste it. I copy the client secret as well. In order to get the project ID, you need to click on the project name over here. Here is the ID. You need to copy it and paste it over here. Once you have furnished all the details, click on Get OAuth2.access token. I click it. It asks about the account. I confirm. I provide the access. I click Continue. Access token is generated. I change the renewal rate to every 15 minutes and click Save. This is about the Google Cloud Storage Access Token. Now let us look at the application. I click on App Builder. I click on All Apps. I search for Google Cloud Storage application. Here it is. I click on the process model and open it. We have introduced 15 activities as part of Google Cloud Storage integration with AgilePoint. Let's quickly check each one. First one is Create Bucket. Let me click and open the activity configuration. General configuration will have display name and description. I say Next. For Create Bucket configuration, we need to provide the access token and the bucket name. The bucket name has to be in smaller case and we need to ensure the provided bucket name is not duplicate. This is about Create Bucket. Next one is Create Folder. I click on Configure Activity. General configuration will have display name and description. I say Next. Create Folder configuration will have access token, folder name, folder path. In case you want to select by yourself, you can do that. In case of our demo, I have selected as dynamic path and provided the bucket name, and I am storing the folder path in the variable. This is about create folder. Let us check the file upload form. I edit the form. Let us check the file upload configuration. I click on edit, click on configure. Target file repository system. I click on edit repository. Here we have selected Google Cloud Storage as the repository, and we have provided the access token and provided the dynamic folder path where the file needs to be uploaded. This is about file upload control. Next activity is get bucket. I click on configure activity. General configuration will have display name and description. I say next. Get bucket configuration. We need to provide access token, bucket name. Here, in case you want to provide it from the form field, you can provide, or you can even select from the drop down. And we need to map response to app schema. Let's quickly check the schema. Here we have mapped the bucket details with the process fields. This is about get bucket configuration. Next activity is get file. Let's quickly check the configuration. General configuration will have display name and description. I say next. Get file configuration. We need to provide the access token. In case you want to provide the file path and you want to select, you can select it and proceed further. For demo purpose, I have selected it as dynamic file path and provided the path. Map response to app schema. Let's quickly check the schema. File information is mapped to form variable. This is about get file configuration. Next activity is set file metadata. Let me click on configure activity. General configuration will have display name and description. I say next. Set file metadata configuration. We need to provide the access token and we need to provide the file path. Here again we can select the file path or give the dynamic file path. For demo purpose, I have used dynamic file path, and there is a metadata tab wherein you can select the inbuilt keys and provide the values, or you can provide the form fields and the values in the runtime. This is about set file metadata configuration. Next one is get file metadata. Let's check the configuration. General configuration will have display name and description. I say next. Get file metadata configuration. We need to provide the access token and the file path as in the set file metadata, and here we will be fetching the data and storing the values. This is about get file metadata. Next activity is set bucket ACL. ACL stands for access control list. General configuration will have display name and description. I say next. Set bucket ACL configuration. We need to provide the access token, bucket name. Here you can select the bucket name in case you want. Recipient category, whether the recipient category is a group or user, and provide the email ID and the role. Role you can provide it from the form field or you can select from the drop down, owner, reader or writer. These are the three roles that is available. So this is about set bucket ACL. Next activity is set file ACL. I click on configure activity. General configuration will have display name and description. I say next. Set file ACL configuration. Here we need to provide the access token and we need to provide the file path. Here again you need to provide recipient category, whether it is group or user, and pass the email ID and the role. Again here it is owner or reader. So this is about set file ACL. Next activity is get bucket ACL. configure activity. General configuration will have display name and description. I say next. Get bucket ACL configuration. Here we need to provide the access token, bucket name, and map the response to app schema. In case you want to select the existing one, you can click on the drop down and select. Let's quickly check the app schema. This is the mapping. This is about get bucket ACL. Next activity is get file ACL. Let me check the configure activity. General configuration will have display name and description. I say next. Get file ACL configuration. We need to provide the access token and file path and map the response to app schema. Let's quickly check the schema. This is the schema mapping. I click back. This is about get file ACL configuration. Delete file ACL. Let's check the configuration. General configuration will have display name and description. I say next. Delete file ACL configuration. We need to provide the access token and the file path, and we need to select the recipient category in the email for which we need to remove the access. This is about delete file ACL. Next one is delete bucket ACL. Let's check the activity configuration. General configuration will have display name and description. I say next. Delete bucket ACL configuration. We need to provide the access token, bucket name, recipient category, and the email. This is about delete bucket ACL. Next one is delete file configure activity. General configuration will have display name and description. I say next. Delete file configuration. We need to provide the access token and the file path of the file which needs to be deleted. This is about delete file. Delete folder activity. Let's click on the configure activity. General configuration will have display name and description. I say next. Delete folder configuration. Here we need to provide the access token and the folder path of the folder which needs to be deleted. This is about delete folder. Last activity is delete bucket. I click on configure activity. General configuration will have display name and description. I say next. Delete bucket configuration. We need to provide the access token and the bucket name. Here we need to ensure that the bucket must be empty before you perform this particular action. This is about delete bucket. Now let us look at the runtime of this application. I click on Work Center. I click on My Apps. I click on Google Cloud Storage Process Model and Initiate. As mentioned earlier, I have provided the bucket name in the lowercase, and this has to be unique. I have provided the folder name and I click Submit. Now let us check the task. Let me open the process model. Create bucket and create folder is successful. Let us check in Google Cloud. Click on the navigation menu, Cloud Storage, and click on Buckets. The bucket is created. Now let us open to see if the folder is created. GCS demo is also created. Now let's go back to the process monitor. We need to upload the file. Let me open the task. File upload. Let us upload the file. I select the file and click open. It is uploaded successfully. I click submit. Let us check if the file is uploaded successfully. I open the folder. The document is uploaded successfully. Let's go back to process monitor. Get bucket and get file is done. Let us quickly check the form. I open the task. It has fetched the bucket ID details and the file ID details. I click submit. Now let us set file metadata. I open the task. You can set standard metadata or you can provide custom metadata as well. Set file metadata. You can provide the inbuilt keys as well. Here I have provided cache control and the value as public and the custom key as name and the value as GCS demo. Another custom metadata, that is department, and value as development. I submit it. Set file metadata is complete. So let us look. I open the file and click on edit metadata. Let me refresh it. I click on edit metadata. Cache control is set as public and custom metadata has been added as we have provided in the form. Let us check get file metadata. Let me open the task. It has fetched the details of the file, and let us move and provide ACL for bucket and file. I provide the email as david@gmail.com and provide the role as owner. I provide the same email for file as well and provide the role as owner. I click submit. Set bucket is complete. Let us check. Let me refresh. I click on edit access. Here the provided email ID is set as owner. This is for file. Let us check the bucket as well. In bucket, I click on permissions. If you see, David has been provided the bucket owner permission. So let us move back to process monitor. Get bucket ACL and get file ACL is complete. Let us see the result. I open the task. It has fetched all the access control list for bucket. That is all the users who have access with the specific permission. So again, coming back to file path, that is for the file. It has fetched all the details how we have seen in the previous step. I click submit.
Delete ACL is complete.
Now permission is deleted for David. Delete bucket ACL. Let's check the permission for bucket. Access for David is removed. Let's check the file. File is removed. Now let us go back to process monitor. Delete folder is successful. Let me go back to. This is our bucket. folder is also deleted successfully. As I had mentioned, bucket needs to be completely empty for deletion, so everything is removed. Let us wait for deletion of bucket to be complete. The bucket is also deleted successfully. Let's navigate back to buckets. Let me refresh it. The bucket is removed successfully. This is all about Google Cloud Storage integration with AgilePoint. Thanks a lot for your time.